this is Seaweed, or Seavang, as if you guys all know, whoever knows me, After many Facebook messages, text, tweet, whatever you guys call it, asking me what happened, what did you do, how did you do it, how did it all turn out? Well, this message is to fill everyone in of my experience and what happened to me and my leg, so watch it. How did you feel? Horrible. Well, it first started out, you know, I'm a digital films television major, so what I really like to do is to film, get up a crew and film, and in December, I never knew that that was gonna be the worst day of my life. December 12th maybe, I'm not sure. Me and my crew actually went out at night. We were gonna do a cool fighting scene, and we weren't at a very level ground area, and then I kind of tipped, and then I fell really hard on my left knee, and I pretty much destroyed it. Yes. So well, I applied for the Southeast Asia program to go study abroad. We were gonna travel to 3 countries, first in Thailand, and then in Laos, and then to Vietnam. And I knew that was gonna consist of a lot of walking, because obviously if you're traveling, you're gonna walk. And then I decided that, okay, since I have about like a week and a half off, I was gonna go home and hopefully my mom can heal me. She mixed some ginseng, which is really nice of her. She stayed up really late at nighttime just to, you know, chop up the ginsengs and chop up these green leaves that are like these herbs or some sort, and mix it together, and then she puts it on my leg. And it was actually December 30th, and I needed to come back to River Falls because me and Kang and my Vang and Wrong were gonna carpool together to the airport, and got there, and you know, the first night staying in the apartment, my legs started to itch. No pain, no nothing, it just started to itch a little bit. Then that morning we woke up, we packed up, we went to the airport, and oh my gosh, like I started seeing some swelling, and the legs just started getting like a little itchy and red. And then I just told my Vang, I was like, hon, I don't know, I don't think I can go.
I think by then everybody was a little bit tired, and that's sort of when I first began to suspect something wasn't quite right with C. You know, I saw her with her friends in the bathroom, and it looks like her leg was giving her some problems, so I was a little concerned about that. She had a little swelling, and I actually stopped somebody at the airport to ask them if there was first aid available. That was one of the first of maybe several frustrations, because he talked to me, said maybe, didn't know where there might be, and then went off to get help, and then I never saw him again. But we at that point had said, well, maybe you need, you're having some sort of allergic reaction and need to take some allergy medicine to calm that down. So we thought, okay, well, maybe we're okay.
I actually assumed that a student would lose their passport, get robbed, miss the plane, train, automobile, something. That's what I had thought as a leader and supervisor. I anticipated something like that to happen, and something really is amazing because it kept me on my toes. Something out of, you know, left field came, and that was some of the students, you know, telling me, you gotta go and look at C. She is not doing well. I'm like, what?
And I told you, no, my leg, it's not gonna happen. Like, I don't think it happened. And then like, she was really nice, and she actually said some very encouraging words to me, saying, you know, like, you put a lot of money into this, you know, and you like, yeah, you put a lot of money, you waited, you planned a lot for all this, and you can't just give up, you know. And like these really inspiring words, and you know, words that kept me going. It's like, yeah, you know, maybe I can do it. And then that's when I was like, okay, stick it up, see, you can deal with this itch, and nothing will be wrong, and nothing can go wrong, right? Well, it did, but anyway.
The first inclination was when we were at LAX, at the LA airport, when C's leg was pretty swollen, and I couldn't see it underneath her jeans, but you know, I could see how swollen, you know, one leg was compared to the other one. And
I was putting on this medicine which my mom recommended. It was kind of like a spicy ice cold kind of medicine that it's definitely stops the itchiness on my leg, and it only lasts me for about like an hour and a half, so I have to constantly keep putting that on. And I was suffering the whole 13 hours there. Oh, it was crazy. I don't know how I did it. I couldn't sleep well, I couldn't walk. I went to the bathroom, looked at my leg, and it was really swollen and big and liquid. It was oozing liquid. It was nasty.
By the time we got to Bangkok, I think she was in a lot more pain, and we were much more worried about what was going on. And we're quite concerned with swelling, and after such a long flight, you just never know, what might be going on, if there's deep vein thrombosis. You hear about these things and people dying from these things, so we wanted to get some medical attention.
Within, I would say, a half an hour of us just getting our luggage in, one of our other students, Kang, came to an elevator in the Bangkok hotel where Claire and I were about to be getting on the elevator, and he said, "This is serious and you need to come to See's room." So in my perspective, her leg looked almost like it was very swollen and almost like it was burnt. It wasn't burnt, but it almost like it had chemical burns on it. She was having a reaction, in my perspective, to things.
I told Gina, I don't think I can make it, and I think I need to go to the doctors.
C had asked, I think that this is serious, and can we go to a clinic or a hospital, or I think that I need help. I don't think that this is, okay. And I kind of understood some of the depth to that request, not only from, what myself or Claire would need to do to, help facilitate that, but also because I've worked with C for many years, that I know that, like, for her to ask to go to the hospital was telling us that, like, this was serious, because C really is a strong person and tries to get herself through a lot of scenarios. Whenever she has a challenge, she really tries to figure that out by herself and she's very resourceful. And so when she said that, I was like, this is big.
So at that point, we Gina Sevick and Mai took C by cab to the Bangkok hospital after we made several calls to our travel insurance company, because of course no student can go to study abroad. We ensure that they're covered for this sort of thing, but being New Year's Day, when we first made the phone calls, we were misdirected a few times. We didn't know at the time, but we think because it was a holiday, not all the numbers were quite in order, and so we ended up being in touch with actually Europe Assist, which we didn't know it at the time, but the person there was very helpful and helped admit, because the hospital of course didn't want to see a patient unless they knew that there was insurance or a payment of some sort.
Fast forwarding through all the communication challenges, we weren't prepared with all the modes of communication, like having cell phones that worked, or were able to use the phones that were there. Some of the phone numbers on the insurance, the travel insurance, were a little bit complicated and confusing, and took a little while to figure out who we really needed to talk to, who was appropriate.
Like, it was like communication was really difficult because there's no way of us making good calls and good connections, and there's all these stress, and that was actually the first time I cried there. I cried because I was afraid. I was afraid, like, I didn't know, my future was blurry. I didn't know what was gonna happen. It happened so fast, I don't really know why it happened this way, but it ends up that, another student who was kind of one of our main angels, rocks, life forces, people who, kept us calm but also got us through all this, was a young woman named Mai Vang Zhang. I work with her very closely too, and she has the wonderful ability to speak Thai, and we were in Bangkok, and that ended up being something that was essential for us, and to this day I still am thinking about the scenarios. If she wasn't
in the picture at all, that things would have been even more challenging than they were.
Got to the hospital and it was chaotic because of the fact that we couldn't really speak Thai. Gosh, I swear, if we did not have my Vang there, I don't know how I would have survived, because she was speaking Thai and she could understand them 100%, and I was speaking Hmong to her, and then she was speaking Thai to them, and then she would speak back in Hmong to me, and then I would speak English to Gina because my Vang's English wasn't that good. So there was like 4 ways of trying to communicate, just information back and forth. And we finally got me to see the doctor, and the first thing the doctor said to me was, "You're in serious condition," and my face just went, crap.
It is on the way to be normal or may turn back, yes, okay, to the bad condition, okay, so it's on the way. It's
When the doctor told me that there's a possibility that I can't go back to the US, I was scared.
change.
I cried.
It's not safe.
I cried a lot.
Safe enough to know. So how are you feeling now?
Good.
Okay?
Yeah. I think I feel more calm.
More confident. Okay, more calm. Good. You have no choice.
Yeah. Time seemed to stop for me.
I have a question
A
about
minute
this.
felt like a day.
I'm starting
a
to have
day.
itch here.
Felt like a
Okay,
year.
now.
I don't know, it's
A
just
year.
itchy. And then,
It just seemed
I
too
don't know,
far
it's the
away.
tape, maybe because I'm not
Yes,
By
used,
myself.
possible.
I'm not used to
I was
it.
scared.
Okay.
So I cried. I cried to myself
เขาขาด
a lot.
เปลี่ยนไปในอย่าง
Cried myself to sleep.
ไม่ใช่เป็นปอ
I cried myself.
ไม่ใช่ที่กระเดิม
So I cried to myself to sleep.
Okay. We change to
And
another
I
side
just
of things.
waited.
Another
Because
material.
the only thing I keep hearing from people was, you need to rest. You need to be here. You need to rest. You can't do anything. And, you know, I'm a person who's not like this. So
Yeah. ว่า
hearing that, it's like one of my worst
นี่นะว่า
nightmares.
พอ
Is this bruising or is it normal?
It's bruised.
Bruise
Yeah.
from the swelling?
Yes. According to the X-ray, it's you have effusion in your knee joint.
This was the only time that I wish, gosh, I want to be home. I want to go home. I miss my family. This has never happened to me before.
So thank God.
It's a very interesting new experience that I'm glad it happened, and I learned a lot of things, but I wish and hope that it never happens to me again in the future. Because that was one of the first time I ever felt so hopeless, like, of myself. Can't believe I'm doing this in Thailand. In a hospital.
This is my adventure. Laundry. The Bangkok hospital. Ho ho ho.
I never knew that my leg was so important.
Oh well, it's okay. I'll manage. I'll just have to rotate them.
Makes me a little bit more appreciated, that I should be more appreciated that I was born this way, and I should be more grateful that I have the ability to walk.
Miss Beck, the accident we're investigating happened at around 37 miles.
Choose what I want.
because of my Van's visits at night, I was able to smile and laugh. I'll be all alone by myself, full of people who didn't speak my language, and I couldn't really understand them. And right when she walked right in, I was so happy. Gosh, it is so great to be able to communicate with somebody and explain, and to have a lot of emotional support, and just be there to support me when I am going through a rough day, and just tell them, oh gosh, yeah. Just being there helped me a lot, actually. When I was told that I couldn't leave the hospital, and my group was leaving for Chiang Mai that morning, my Van cried a lot for me. We both cried, actually. She didn't want to leave. I didn't want to stay. We both just cried. And for that, I think that moment of tears just meant a lot. A lot more to me than anything else.
Hopefully everything goes well. And yeah, I just want to tell everybody to have fun. If we have fun, definitely have fun. TL, we miss you a lot. And hopefully I can join all of you guys soon wherever I am. Hopefully I'm fine. And hope you guys are all fine too.
I was bored. And I waited and waited and waited. I felt hopeless. I couldn't do anything. Because everyone said my only medication is to rest. And I waited. I just waited.
C, I feel, was really strong in that case, but I don't know how many times C has really gotten to go into a westernized hospital, or let alone Bangkok International Hospital. And that was like walking into foreign territory in my perspective. I hadn't even been to, a Bangkok, Thailand hospital. However, I've been in hospitals before, and I can kind of understand how some things work. But coming from my perspective, being a person who, yes, have been in hospitals, but don't like being in hospitals ever, and I faint at like blood and needles and all those kinds of things, it's not a place that I'm very comfortable. I can't imagine a person going there who has never been there, and it's something that not only lack of experience in those situations, but also kind of a philosophical and ethical, moral kind of conundrum or conflict in their own hearts, which I would imagine C had, of that not only it's a place that I haven't gone, but it's a place that my family doesn't go to for a purpose. I mean, because of trust related issues, because of lots of different things, because of maybe C, they have, she has her own way of, own different kinds of medicines and different beliefs surrounding healing. And so to go into a place, it's kind of like going into somewhere that is like, an alien laboratory, and people are poking and prodding you and telling you different things, and you have to stay overnight. And I was scared for her. I was really scared for her, and I was really, really concerned.
So that was my primary concern, and after talking to her and seeing her and worrying about that she still had an infection and some wounds, and then some difficulty walking, that I was more and more concerned that she wouldn't be able to participate in the rest of the trip.
So Claire and I had lots of talks trying to figure out what do we do. But I ended up going with another student to go and get some, dressing and gauze and all these kinds of things, hoping and also anticipating that maybe C was going to come along with us for the rest of the journey since she was here now and we didn't know. And so then when I returned, all that I know is that C and Claire had a conversation, and Claire thought, or maybe C thought too, agreed, I don't know, that the best solution at the moment was to probably try and find a way home back to the United States.
They said she needs to fill out a fit to fly form. And I think Gina and I were going to die when we heard that. We're like, you have got to be kidding. We're literally standing in the hallway of a hotel because I don't remember how or why. We couldn't believe that they were going to make her go to another doctor and get another signature.
Well, in order for her to go, she's got to go to the hospital again and get some paperwork signed saying that she is fit to fly. And when I heard that, having the experience like in the hospital with C and my Vang, my heart just dropped because I was like, you just got out of the hospital.
Alright, travelers. Yes, I did get home safe and sound, met my family, and everything was taken care of. But anyways, I hope you learned something from this film. I sure learned a lot, especially since it was my story. I learned my lesson to never travel if I was sick to begin with. Sometimes I just gotta trust my gut feelings. When Global Connections or your advisor or your study abroad program coordinator tells you that you have to go see a doctor for a checkup, get your shots done, blah 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 blah, all these medical stuff that I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't want to hear, because I tend to not want to listen to. When they tell you to go see a doctor, go see a doctor, because things always happen. And you know, one thing I learned is it's best to travel when you're healthy and you're fine. Also, make sure you travel with a phone device. Yes, I know you're probably gonna think that yes, you're not gonna use a cell phone abroad because you don't want to pay the bills and whatnot. Well, this cell phone, iPhone 5, I mean, I'm not telling you to go get an iPhone 5, but I'm saying this cell phone device actually helped save me, because even though I couldn't make phone calls through AT&T, well, at least I was able to download free applications such as Skype and free texting messages, so then I can text and message people back here in the States to tell them, hey, I'm okay, nothing's wrong, blah blah blah. So a good advice for traveling is to always carry one, even though you don't think you'll be using it. Carry it. Again, remember that patience is key. I know a lot of things did happen to me, and it did all those extra hurdles that wasn't really necessary, and I did find myself being negative at times and over the top sometimes, but remember that patience is key, and there really are people out there to help you out. Even if it seems like it's a year or it's whatever, it's taking too long, be patient. patience is key. Many people ask me, will this ever stop me from traveling? No, of course not. I love traveling and I will continue to travel, and I hope that you guys do that too and travel, because so many great things can happen to you when you're studying abroad. Because think about it, no experience ever goes to waste. You always learn something new. So would this stop me from traveling? No. I'll travel. I'll still travel. Oh, I gotta go. It's like they're calling my name. Yes. So travel. I want to hear your stories too.